Welcome to the world of Starloss, a planet of magic and conflict where there are untold mysteries that could take entire generations to explore. From werewolves and dragons to demons, corrupt emperors and kings, the amount of danger in Starloss keeps the average folks stuck at home. That's where the Animatic Exploration Committee, the EEC, comes in. It's the job of us volunteer adventurers to travel the world and shed light on all the crazy, wild truths that are hidden in every nook and cranny we can find. I'm Lance Elliott, and I'm here to get you all caught up on the strange adventures in the storm-ridden Far East. Our journey begins aboard a submarine underneath the Storm Wall, an ancient magical barrier that separates the world of Starloss. Aboard this submarine, 5 new heroes made their way to the New World, a land on the far side of the storm wall that was discovered 30 years ago and which we're still just barely scratching the surface of. See, no one really knows where the storm wall came from or how it works. We just know that going through it is impossible, and no magic has ever worked across it. Until the EEC arrived. And now we bring folks under it every few months. New adventurers like our brave party. Selleck and Vane, a pair of bounty hunters, had met just before the journey began, and struck up a mysterious deal. Now, paired at the hip, they spent their time making as much gold as they could playing poker. It's during one such game that they met Ritz, a strange man calling himself an outer elf, who has the tendency to get pretty pissed over the little stuff. Down beneath them, helping the crew keep cargo tidy, was our fourth, Bella, a furbolg woman. The only thing bigger than her heart is her muscles, and the only thing stronger than her muscles is her commitment to making the best of a bad situation. Last but not least, sequestered away in her cabin was Runava, an elf who values nothing more than her privacy. These 5 were joined by hundreds of other passengers who arrived to the towering cliffside outpost that serves as the home of the Commission here in the New World, the grand city of Cloud Breach, the starting point of every Stormridden's duty. And quite the sight to see too. Just look at those views. There, they and 25 others split off from the main group to come and meet yours truly. You see, I'm one of the core commanders, a leader of dozens of squads of a group known as Stormridden. My job is to keep tabs on them, keep them organized. I'm definitely not a desk jockey who got stuck with this job when I didn't really expect it. I and my boss, head of all Stormridden, Delgado, explained to the new recruits just exactly what they signed up for. Being Stormridden means you're one of the soldiers and guardians of the city, taking quests, doing odd jobs, and protecting the citizens of the New World. It also means teamwork, and these 5 learned that when they were sorted into their new squad, dubbed Squad 13 of the 15th Corps. They introduced themselves, introduced their familiars, Rook, Zervi, and Broth, and began their new life the only way you should. Shopping! Their first day involved magical items, a visit to everyone's favorite alchemist, and finally, the group reconvened at a fortune-telling shop, home to Cloud Breach's famous fortune teller, Telta Art. One by one, their futures were read, and each was gifted a tarot card that reflected the visions laid before them. The wall, the mirage, the pendulum, the shadow, and the parasite. Nothing ominous about any of those. Taking a brief respite, the group went along to a local bar called the Nearly Gone Inn, run by an appropriately named furball, Nearly. While there, they snacked and laughed, and Runava claimed the title of victor in a drinking competition. Elven constitution, I suppose. Little did the rest of Squad 13 know, but Vane and Nearly were both members of the same secretive group. With Nearly providing Vane jobs and coded info, the group encountered their first combat in the New World, putting down a group of poachers that intended to smuggle dangerous animals back home. I had to get them in a bit of trouble for handling it so aggressively, but in the end, they got off with a slap on the wrist. Free from the interrogation and with Vane a few silver richer, the group finished their first day by traveling to the home of the city's research guild, the Airsat Institute, where luck would grace them in the form of their tour guide. Loremaster William Black, the head of the guild, happened to be available to show them the facility. The group was startled to learn that William is both a native to this side of the storm wall, as well as a powerful mage, capable of casting 9th level spells. See, in the world of Starlost, when you first cast a 9th level spell, your eyes turn gold and stay gold for the rest of your life. Except Williams don't, for some reason. I'm sure we'll learn why eventually. And if you want to find out what happens, maybe you should subscribe. Subscribe to what? Who is this script for? Why am I... Sorry, that's off topic. Given a new home, the group lay down their heads and rest for the first time under new skies. Then it's on to day 2, and it starts with their first quests, taking on a mission to the only other EEC city, Kilby, as well as some odd jobs. The group prepares to depart by visiting the Magic Guild, and then boarding a ship headed upriver. And so ends day 2, and so begins the week-long trek to Kilby. Once the group got off the ship, it became a very long walk, but long walks also mean it's the perfect time to get to know each other. Spilling their hearts out over a shared bottle of whiskey into fire, the group begins to bond, which means it's also the time to notice some oddities. The group couldn't help but discover that Zervi, Runava's familiar, seemed to strangely be lacking a lower half, a back half, the part where he'd wear pants, it's gone. Of course, Runava isn't the only one with secrets. Each night, Selleck would slip into Vane's tent, and after a moment of silence, an eerie blue light would fill the camp. Stranger, stranger. Oh, speaking of strangers, one lonely night while on watch, Runava was joined by a traveling merchant. A man introducing himself as Shang Di sat across from her and gained her interest with his wares, and gained her caution by saying knowledge he couldn't possibly know. After some haggling, the merchant of many names offered her a deal. In exchange for one favor in the future, he would tell Runava the location of something she wanted. You see, Runava came to the New World to find parts of her magical hairpiece, a unique item gifted to her by friends and family she hadn't seen in a very, very long time. With the terms written in the world and the deal sealed with a handshake, Shang Di revealed the location of the last piece Runava could claim, one far to the north, past the mysterious Echo Crowns. Then, just as quickly as he arrived, he vanished before the rest could meet him. With the sun risen and the mysteries left behind in the night, the group arrives in Kilby, the heart of agriculture in the New World. Getting the lay of the land, they meet Khalil, a drow, ex-member of the Research Guild, and Dave, a half-orc man and the contractor that pitched the quest. Recently, after turning down a business offer for his farm, Dave's cattle had been getting attacked in the night, and with the local Stormridden busy securing the town, it's up to Squad 13 to investigate. The investigation begins with the merchant who made the offer, Rhinar, a dwarven man who owns nearly half of Kilby's farms. While the group splits up to investigate his house, they each encounter a guest of his, a strange man wearing an Oni mask. Taking the risk to investigate further, the group discovered a vial of some strange fluid that the guest had brought with him, and then, fearing discovery, fled back to their inn. With little information to go on, it was time for a stakeout. Setting up traps, the group hid away and waited for Dave's attacker to appear. And oh boy, appear it did. A strange bat creature, a Chiroptera, arrived, and before it could feast on another one of Dave's herd, Squad 13 did their jobs to the letter. In the scuffle, Selleck removed his face mask, and the group witnessed one of his secrets, a horrific maw wider than physically possible and filled with smoke and teeth. No judgment from me. Some heebie-jeebies though. Ugh. No sooner is the Chiroptera dead and Selleck's mask back on, is it that the group notices why it was here. A trio of its children tried to flee, with one being injured before it could. Knowing that they could be a danger, the group healed the creature and followed it to its nest. Marking the location down, they beat feet back to Kilby and report to both Dave and Whisper Unto Moonlight, a researcher for the commission. Rather than return home, the gang had a few other odd jobs they'd picked up. Starting with a rough encounter with a giant beast known as a dire bear. Oh, he's so cute. Defeating it, they met Milo and his niece Tida. In awe of the Stormridden, Tida escorts the group back to Kilby and regales them with the tale of her childhood encounter with a Fae, and the even stranger Fae still here in the New World. Now that they've gotten both quests wrapped up, and with Bella and Khalil having grown closer, the group finally bids farewell to Kilby and heads home. On the way, they found another stranger, This time, not a merchant, but rather a member of the commission. Tucker, one of the original Stormridden and a local legend, pumped into the group, and the pair traveled together for a short while before they were pulled away by one last side quest. In the small village of Wharton, a ghost disturbs the masses. Or at least that's what they thought. After some digging and another stakeout, the group discovers the source of the issues is both a lost spirit and her fae friend, Red. With a show of compassion from Bella and some stern words to Red from Runava, both the fae and the ghost stopped their hauntings. But in all the commotion, 2 more secrets came to light. Selig and Vane were so close because Selig was a Dhampir, not quite an elf and not quite a vampire. Unlike most vampires, Selig doesn't eat blood. Instead, he drains people of their dreams for food. Vane, meanwhile, was revealed to be not quite an elf either, with his strange cloak revealed to be part of his physical body. What exactly he is still a secret, even to him. And so, they made a triumphant return to the city. Returning the quest information to yours truly, I revealed to them that the man with the mask that they'd encountered in Kilby was none other than Nash, an infamous Stormridden gone bad who's known to be one of the most dangerous men on this side of the wall. Honestly, given how dangerous he is, they were just lucky to get out alive. The group learns from William Black that the vial of fluid they got from Nash is plasma, extracted from someone or something's blood. And the group then explained their findings directly to Delgado and the governor of the city, Baristine Cairn. All of that in just the first 2 weeks. Talk about a grand start. Of course, the next part of the story is even crazier. So buckle up, because this, as crazy as it all is just the beginning.